this podcast will reach thousands of people. There are going to be people that don't know you like that will see this. There are people that will say, I can't believe that's Pastor Payton's son. Did all that kind of stuff. And knowing that and still wanting to say to people, I'm sorry, to air your dirty laundry to those that may not know it's dirty. That is the ultimate transformational move.
I've apologized to you, but I might as well publicly apologize to you as well. I'm gonna do this without getting emotional. I'm sorry. You didn't deserve it. You were a father. You are a father. That is went over and beyond for me. And the way that I've treated you, things that I've done to you, the betrayal of your trust, I apologize.
Hello, everyone, and again, thank you for tuning in to Fit Conversations. I'm your host, Anthony Payton, and we are in for another exciting episode. Thank you again for all the encouragements that you've given us. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you to always not only hit the like button on our YouTube channel and Facebook page, et cetera, become a follower, but also share with your friends. We want you to be able to be a part of this evangelistic move, if you would, by sharing the good news of these conversations with those that are part of your influence. Today, we're coming back with my son, Zachary Payton, and for those that may not know who you are, since you are not who you used to be, why don't we begin by you introducing yourself to everyone?
Zachary Payton, the son of Anthony Payton and Sandra Payton, the brother of Lydia Payton. Amen. Lydia Brunty, I'm sorry.
Lydia Brunty, that's right. She'd be married now.
Yes, she is.
She'd be married.
I'm sorry.
Our last discussion, we started talking about, some of the things that you did and some of the things that you have come through as a result of some mistakes that you've made. I think as a father, probably your father, and one of the most difficult things that I have experienced is the first time I was not able to save you from something. I was not able to walk in that courtroom and you walk out with me. Previously, I had been able to do that. I always knew there was going to be a day, and I have shared that with you on a number of different occasions. There's going to be a day. Well, why don't you share what I used to tell you?
It's going to be a day that you wasn't going to be able to save me. I think I said in the last episode that your name, what you've done in this community, the people that you know, the lives you've touched on other people's behalf that same grace wasn't going to be given to me. Yeah. And that was going to be one of your toughest days, and I saw it that day.
Yeah. And I think that when I look back at it, it was on the heels of writing a letter to a law firm that eventually got before, at that time, President Biden, on behalf of a young man who was looking at and was in the process of doing, I think he had done at least 20 years on a almost 40-year bit. And I wrote a letter on his behalf. And one of the last things that President Biden did was to let him out. I leave that excitement to go to a courtroom dressed in my best suit,
One of them.
one of them, and the judge looked at me and said, "No,
Not this time.
not this time. He going down." What was that like for you?
That was hard. That was very hard because I seen the embarrassment on your face, the hurt on your face more than probably the embarrassment. It was hard. It was hard knowing that I wasn't going to be able to see you and my mother, see, my wife, my daughter. It was hard. It was hard, but it was something that I had to go through and I needed.
Yeah. And I think it's safe to say, if we were to be 100, it was something that you deserved. It wasn't a sentence that you did not deserve. Mm-hmm. It wasn't something that people did you wrong or you shouldn't.
I paid for it.
Yeah.
I paid for it.
Yeah. You paid for that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And previously, you got away with I won't say you got away, but you did a whole lot of stuff. Zach.
I have.
You did a whole lot of stuff for a whole lot of time, a long time.
Yeah.
When you think about and you did a whole lot of stuff for a long time that you didn't have to do
at all.
There was no reason for you to steal from anybody because your mom and daddy worked to make sure you and your sister had everything that you wanted. There was no need for you to do any of those things, but over and over again, we would get these calls from people saying, your son
did it again.
Did this to me.
Mm-hmm.
Did this to me. And sometimes we would pay the person, pay it if they couldn't get it back, give them the money, whatever it was, if we could. And yet, and the people would always say, I think the general consensus in the community about people that knew was that they're gonna always get him out of trouble.
Yep.
He do it because he know they're gonna save him. They're gonna get him out. Let's talk about that. What do you?
That's the truth. I did. I stole a lot. Before I started stealing from others, I stole from you and my mother a lot, even other family members. I never really had a reason to do it besides I just wanted to. And it was the arrogance of just doing it. You and my mother, like you said, worked very hard and gave me more than I could want, I could need. But it was just something that I did that I never really understood why. Still to this day, I don't understand why I did it. But, through my own personal battles with myself over it, I've deaded that side of me.
When you say you deaded that side of you, what do you mean?
I've killed that demon.
Okay.
I've stopped doing those type of things. It took a long time. It took more time than I'm sure anybody wanted it to. But I think that before I closed the chapter on that part of my life, that I had to come and have this discussion and publicly admit to it, because for so long I never addressed it. If you believed I did it, I just let you believe I did it and never really publicly addressed it, no matter what was said to you or my parents, or no matter what was put on Facebook about it. I just never addressed it. So I feel like
You not only never addressed it, I don't think you never owned it.
Owned it. No, I didn't. And before I begin this new chapter, get deep into this new chapter of my life, this new book of my life, I feel like that has to be addressed, accepted. The responsibility has to be taken for on my behalf in order to close it.
One of the things that people have to do, and you now, because let me digress before I go into that. We're not here having this discussion because I wanted you to have this discussion.
No, I wanted to.
Yeah, you called me.
I did.
After the last 2 podcasts and said, I need to go deeper. I need to address the stuff that I've done publicly.
I told you this when I was in prison.
Yeah.
And after we had that last episode, I said we can't close it out like that.
Yeah. Do you see that as a conviction from God that you have to?
Most definitely.
Okay.
As high as my energy and everything was, that last episode we had together, when I got in the car, and I think I was driving somewhere when I called you, and I said, Dad, we can't close it out like that. It was a good episode, but I have to address it. I have to publicly take ownership of everything, and it got to be controversial, and we got to talk about it.
And you added to that, I need you to be
controversial,
candid. You got to hold me accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I would. What do you? I mean, because it's a long list.
Very long.
It's not just a long list in Fort Wayne.
Everywhere I've been.
Everywhere you've been. Every country you've been virtually, except.
No, not no countries. The law's a little different over there.
China, we got a call from China, remember?
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
We got that call from China.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
You know, we ain't get no call from DR, those places.
You're absolutely right.
But we did get the call from China.
You're absolutely right.
And we got the call from Mexico.
Yeah.
You know, so it's been virtually every country you've been to. Yeah. You said you cannot identify why.
I can't. As much as I want to understand or figure out the why, I haven't been able to wrap my mind around the why.
And it's been baffling for your mom, and it's been baffling for us as a family, because nobody, even your friends,
mm-hmm.
understood why, because they saw how you lived, what you had, what was provided to you, etc. I remember when your friend from New York came. What's his name? You play ball with him? Phil Jones. Yeah, Phil came to the house for that summer, and he looked at you and he said,
"Yeah,
this is how you live. This how you grew up.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
So nobody understood it. Nobody understood it. So but now that we're talking about it, what do you need to say to people?
Well, publicly, I would like to apologize. It's been a long list, so I can't go down with names, and I don't want to miss anybody's name, so I won't do names. But publicly, I want to apologize to anybody that I've stolen from, that I've hurt by stealing from you. I understand on this side of it how much it affected you. I was wrong. I take accountability for it. I take responsibility for it. And I pray that over time or through this interview that I could gain an apology from you. Accepted apology from you. But I publicly want to say that to all those people that I've hurt in that way.
Near and far.
Near and far.
United States and China.
across the waters and over here.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a long list.
It's a very long list.
It's a long list, and it's a multitude and a multiplicity of ways. So you know, it's a whole nother level of transformation that has to take place for a man to stand up and publicly say, "I'm sorry," especially when it comes to the things in this area that you've done. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and you know things about you that I don't know, but I don't know of anything that has followed you, any quote unquote sin that has followed you as much as this has followed you. Mm-hmm. So much so that this became your identity. Mm-hmm. Every relationship that you had, every person that was close to you over these years, you have done something in this vein, virtually everyone mm-hmm. that I know of, in this way to hurt them. Mm-hmm. People that would have done anything for you, yeah. and that did do whatever they could to help you. You repaid their kindness by stealing from them, mm-hmm. including your mom and your daddy and your sisters and other family members, etc. I mean, I know family members who was on pins and needles if you were in the house.
Yep. Everybody would.
Yeah, because they didn't know, okay, what's I know sometimes I misplace stuff. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I say is, Zachary been here. I just said, your son been here? No, he ain't been, Tony. I said, well, I can't find out. Well, you need to keep looking because he ain't been here. Mm-hmm. That is painful.
It is. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand the pain I was causing people. For years I was doing that.
I remember, you told me to keep it 100. Mm-hmm. I remember the first time you stole from me. You remember? Mm-hmm. I had laid some money on the dresser. And you got, I think it was like $300.
Yeah.
And you swore up and down. You probably was what, 9?
Yeah. Found it in my socks.
9? I said, oh no. No.
Yeah.
And it was in your socks. And it's like from that point on, it was, I couldn't be, I not only had to be your daddy, I had to be your probation officer almost, because I was wondering, you had to check in, what's missing, what's this, mm-hmm. Et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. So what do you think you need to do in order to, you made the apology, and there's going to be some that even though you apologize, are still living with the memory of it. You said that somebody inboxed you after the last.
Yeah, I got a couple of inboxes. And one of them that stood out, all of them stood out, so I appreciate everybody that inboxed me. But one of them that stood out stated that this is where they always see me at, and that this testimony that I have and this platform that you've allowed me to be on to express this and apologize will bless somebody.
I believe it will. You said something in our last, with the three of us, with Jack, yourself, and Tyrell and I, that while other people were known like I was being the street dope dealer, and everybody else had an identity, that for you, being known as the thief, mm-hmm. hit different. Mm-hmm. Explain that.
I think that's that is one of the, if we had to break down characteristics a characteristic hierarchy, a pedophile and thief would probably be 1A and 1B to me.
Pedophile and thief, but let's just make it clear. You ain't been accused.
No, I ain't got none of that. I ain't got none of that.
Okay.
But I mean, that's how
frowned
upon thieving is, being a thief is, to me.
To you.
If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But in my opinion, to be looked at as a thief, nobody wants you around. You're not going to get that invite to come around as much because, everybody is scared of you taking something.
Okay. What else would you like to share?
Well, with this being said and, me apologizing, I know that there's still going to be people out there that's going to see me as that same person. That still is going to be getting their laughs off, their jokes off, their trolling off, or whatever the case may be. And I want you to understand I'm at a place where I'm cool with it. I don't mind it. I don't, I'm not going to pay attention to it. I don't want you to allow, I think Dion said it, I don't want you to allow the confidence that I now have in myself to interrupt your insecurities. I think that a lot of people will still try to use the things that I've done and now are admitting to hide their laundry. And I'm cool with that. I'm so cool with that. You won't get a reaction out of me. That story that you always tell about how we were sitting in the car one day and you was deciding on if you should get a car or not. And I told you at an early
Mercedes. I think
one of the two Mercedes that he even had.
Yeah.
That I told you, they're going to talk about you if you're walking. So you might as well be in something nice.
Yeah.
I
remember how old you were when you said that?
I don't know, about 7, 8.
You were 9. I was just sharing that with somebody who was struggling with enjoying a new house.
Mm-hmm.
You know who the person is. If I was to call their names, well, you know them. And they were struggling with, the size of the house that they built and struggling with, people having a view of them because they built such a big house, such a nice house, and they felt guilty that they shouldn't have done it because what do people think? And I told them what you told me about buying that Mercedes at 9, because I was debating. I'll never forget, we went out there and the person that was going to buy it did not buy it. And the dealer said, it's available if you still want it. I said, we laughed. He said, you said, Dad, you going to get it? I said, no, I'm not going to get it. Why aren't you going to get it? I said, because people are going to talk.
Church folk.
Yeah. He said, church folk going to talk. People going to think I'm stealing something, et cetera. So I just won't get it. And you said at 9, people are going to talk if you're walking or riding. Mm-hmm. You might as well be riding something nice. I turn around.
You went and got it. And that Cadillac DeVille.
Yeah. So yeah, people. Sometimes, son, it takes years for people to see you differently. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's comfortable for people to hold on to what you used to do, what they know about you in the past. I was sharing with our other podcast that it took some people decades to believe that I had changed. No matter how much I achieved, no matter how much I've done, there are people who look at some of the things that we've done as a family, as a church, and they swear I'm still selling drugs. Yeah. You know that as my son. You know what they've said, and I remember one person said the reason I was going to Brazil so much is I was going to re-up.
If we was doing that, we wouldn't be in America, people. Promise you that.
So you have that kind of disposition from people, and it's hard to live down. I made some decisions when I came back to Fort Wayne, when I came to Fort Wayne that I wasn't going to do. And I remember going to my uncle, who was at the time, he wasn't married to my aunt. I had a model. My Aunt Eileen and my Uncle Malcolm was the only married couple in our family. They lived in D.C. My mom and I lived in New York, and we would take the train from New York to D.C. to spend the weekend with them periodically. They were the only married couple in our family that I knew. And they always had high hopes for me. Mm-hmm. And I went a different direction. And you could see it on their face how disappointed they were. My grandmother was disappointed. My Aunt Eileen, Uncle Malcolm, Aunt Charlene, everybody was disappointed because I was supposed to be, I was the hope. Mm-hmm. And I never forget going to him after I made that decision and apologizing for letting him down. And he called me out of the blue. This is what prompted the apology. He called me out of the blue because at that time we were telecasting in 170 some different countries, that church service. And he saw me preaching. And he called me. He said, Tony, you finally are doing what God wants you to do. I said, Uncle Malcolm? He said, yeah, this is me. I watch you. I've told my wife, because he wasn't married to my aunt now, that I always knew you was going to be used by God. And I said to him, I just need to apologize to you for letting you down, for not doing it earlier, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And when we went back to Mississippi and buried my aunt, he came to the funeral. And I said at the funeral just that. I said to the people at that funeral that this was the couple, the married couple that gave me inspiration and gave me a model, because I used to watch them count pennies in the floor, because he was a military guy working on his master's degree. My Aunt Eileen, my Aunt Charlene would babysit to help subsidize their income, and they buy chicken wings when we come over, and she would fry them, and I think that's why I fell in love with chicken wings. But they were that model, so I felt, and I went to every one of my family members and I apologized to them, including him, for that. And I think that I know what that did for me. It wasn't about how they received it. Mm-hmm. I wanted them to receive it. Like you said, I wanted them to get to the place where they genuinely accepted it. And they all did. But the apology was more about what I needed to do, mm-hmm. not how they needed to respond. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where you are. Mm-hmm. It's about what you need to do because of what you did. And the same period of time over the time that it took you to do what you did, it may take them to get where they need to be to genuinely accept it. Mm-hmm. You're not responsible for people's reaction. You are responsible for what God has called you to do, and that is to apologize. Mm-hmm. So, not just as your father, but as a man, I say to you, man, I would say, I think there's some different dynamics when it comes to being a black man, to get to a place where you publicly say to people, this podcast will reach thousands of people. There are going to be people that don't know you like that will see this. There are people that will say, I can't believe that's Pastor Payton's son. Mm-hmm. Did all that kind of stuff. And knowing that, and still wanting to say to people, I'm sorry, to air your dirty laundry to those that may not know it's dirty, and to air it to those that know it's dirty and have the scars to prove it, that is the ultimate transformational move. If there's anything about being fearless, intentional, and transformational, it is a part of that construct as a man's ability to deal with his failures, to deal with the things that he has done to hurt people. So I applaud you for that. And is anything else you'd like to say?
I've apologized to you, but I might as well publicly apologize to you as well. I'm gonna do this without getting emotional. I'm sorry. You didn't deserve it. You were a father. You are a father that is went over and beyond for me. And the way that I've treated you, the things that I've done to you, the betrayal of your trust, I apologize. To my mother, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve it. When everybody talked about me, you were still in my corner as well as my father. You never turned your back on me. To my sister, who had to walk with that shame, in public places of people talking about our brother and me being your older brother and not leading by example, I apologize. I thank all of y'all for still loving me, for never turning y'all back on me. For still being dynamic pieces in my life. I thank you.
There's never a day. There never will be a day. There's never will be anything that you will ever do or anything that you have done that would cut ties with you being my son. I've said to you privately, I accept your apology, your I forgive you.
Thank you.
I forgive you. Zachary, there is no place for me to do anything else but forgive you. I know that this day will ultimately come. I know what God said to me about you, you are. And I know that he was going to let me live long enough to see you do what he has called you to do. I love you.
I love you.
And bruh, son, I cut the card. I held you in these hands in that hospital room. I prayed over your life that General MacArthur's prayer about build me a son. And the reality of you being able to sit here on this platform at this season is God's way of saying to me that he heard that prayer and he's answered that prayer, because a part of that prayer is about a son who's able to accept defeat while he strives for victory. So I love you. Haven't never stopped loving you. Yeah, you made me mad. You made me mad. But I have never stopped loving you, and I'm thankful to God for this new season in your life and everything that he's doing. I know your mother would say the same, and I know that your sister would echo the same sentiments. I've asked God over the course of your life and my life as your father to transfer any favor I have with him to you. And I have favor with God. I know he loves me. In spite of everything I've done, he loves me. He has proven it time after time again. And I want to see you walk into that and own that favor like I've had the privilege to own it and walk in it for 40 plus years. You know my story. I've been candid with you. From the earliest stages of your life, I wanted to make sure you understood all the stuff that I've done so that you could understand how glorious and great God's grace is. So I receive it. Get busy being consistent and living out your life for the glory of God, and he will fill in the blank.
And before you go any further, I have to. I got to get used to putting my wife out there.
Okay.
Baby, thank you. Because you are the only woman that has come in my life and not judged me for what you knew about me. You stuck with me even through some of the roughest times that you possibly could. So I thank you. I appreciate you. I adore you. I can't thank you enough for giving me a chance to prove to you that I was worth it. So thank you.
Let me get a hug here, Reverend. Okay. This has been a special episode of Fit Conversations. Thank you, as always, for giving us a few moments of your time. We always desire to be a good steward of it. I pray that you leave this and you go forth, especially as a man, and be fearless, intentional, and transformational. May God bless you. Shalom.